That episode was absolutely wild. What is up, guys? My name is Andres and welcome back to my breakdown of Jujutsu Kaisen. This is episode 3 of season 2. Like I said before, what an insane episode. We finally got the battle that we've been expecting, which is Toji versus Gojo. And if that's what we want to call it, because it wasn't really much of a battle because Toji just whooped Gojo. I thought this was absolutely insane. Obviously, we'll get to the fight, but I want to get to the very beginning of this episode, which was all about Riko and making her feel comfortable and happy as much as possible in her final days before she gets assimilated with Tengen. This was the whole plan all along, and I like how we don't really capture exactly what's happening to Gojo in this moment, which is him exhausting himself by keeping up this barrier this entire time that this bounty is up. This is essentially where Toji comes in, and he knows that he let that barrier down, and he knows that he's been carrying that barrier this entire time. This is all really cool information that we get once the fight starts, but this beginning of the episode sets it up really well. Now let's get to the fight, if that's what we're gonna call it, because I did not expect Toji to completely annihilate Gojo. He came in so quick, and with these hands and with these cursed tools, I was blown away because I thought this was gonna be a big battle, a big fight, a big back and forth, but it really wasn't. It was a one-sided beating that Toji absolutely laid on Gojo, and I really like that we learn more about who this guy is. Obviously from Zenin, he has zero cursed energy, heavenly pact to get a physical prowess, which is exactly what Maki is. So this all reminded me of Maki with the cursed tools, with the heavenly pact, with the physical nature of her fighting style, and the idea that she's a Zenin who was always an outcast. And I'm assuming now that he's been an outcast from Zenin, and that's why he took on Fushiguro, and that's his new name, because he doesn't want to associate with Zenin because they pushed him out of the clan because of his zero cursed energy whole nature. So I feel like that's part of him. He's very similar to Maki in that sense, where maybe he has a chip on his shoulder for being an outcast of Zenin, but he still has that training, he still has that power and that blood that makes him a really powerful warrior. And by powerful warrior, I mean like one of the most powerful that we've seen. I don't think we've seen anyone that moves this quick besides maybe Gojo, obviously, but Gojo was facing off against him, so I guess that goes out the window. I love seeing this guy fight. It was absolutely amazing and insane. His strategies, the way he built up the fight, throwing out those flies in order to distract him, to create barriers, to create shadows, to make sure he is getting every single advantage in this fight possible. It was just playbook, art of war, art of fighting, whatever you want to call it. This guy knew what he was doing, and he absolutely destroyed Gojo. And obviously this is a much younger Gojo, but still, I expected a back and forth, as I said before, but it was an absolute destruction, and it really blew me away because Mappa really delivered with the fights. The episode ends with Riko being sent off to be assimilated with Tengen, and obviously this is Geto telling her this is the final stage of her assimilation, where all she has to do is go down, meet Tengen, and it's over. They win and she gets assimilated, but there's a but. If she doesn't want to, she has the absolute right and the absolute ability to backpedal, to back out of it. And Geto and Gojo both are going to have her back if she doesn't want to assimilate, if she just wants to live a long, normal life. And she goes on this speech about how she's always been special. She was always meant for something bigger, and yet she still just wants to live a normal life. And right as she says that, Geto extends his hand and she gets shot in the head by Toji. This was a big surprise as well because I wasn't sure where this character was going, but I definitely didn't expect her to get killed right before she met up with Tengen. And this is Toji coming in to tell Geto that he killed Gojo, which, I mean, if I did that to Gojo, I would think the same too. I'm assuming he looks pretty dead to me. But this was setting up the next episode, which I'm assuming is going to be Geto versus Toji. And I don't know. I mean, Geto is super powerful. I can see Geto beating him, but at the same time, we just saw this guy absolutely annihilate Gojo. So I'm curious where this fight's going to go. But let me know what you guys thought of this episode. Let me know what you guys thought of the fight. Let me know what you guys think of Fushiguro, this new Fushiguro, who's absolutely just a god of death, essentially, a god of destruction. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe to me if you haven't done so already. You can follow me at Squad Leader Ace on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all that good stuff. Make sure you guys do that. But either way, guys, for Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm going to be peacing out, so peace, deuces.